Good morning everybody and welcome back to another video. Today we are looking at the next step in growing our potatoes. We're going to discuss what's the difference between a determinate and an indeterminate variety of potatoes, and why does that matter when we're choosing our potatoes, and why does it matter in terms of the care of our potatoes in terms of getting a nice crop. So we're going to talk about that today and dive straight in. So here we have our potato crop. You can see amazingly, look at this growth that is starting to come out. It's popped through all of the cover crop. If you remember earlier, we had this cover crop going up. So much of it was kind of pushing through. In fact, I can take you over to the bed over here. You can see all of this one has been bouncing back, so much vetch in there after we pushed that all down. So remember, it was like this, similar. We chopped and we dropped and we threw it down on top, and you can see all the mulch layer underneath started to break down and die and feed the soil all underneath here, and our potatoes have sprouted through. They pushed through the top layer and they're now looking wonderfully healthy. As I mentioned before, the next step is to work out what type of variety our potatoes are and whether they are an indeterminate or determinate variety. Now remember, an indeterminate variety means that it grows up the tuber. We're going to have tubers spreading all the way out everywhere in the soil, and it grows upwards. So as the potato plant grows up, if you mound up and up and up and up and up with the potato, then you're going to get more tubers sending off the side, and you're going to keep growing more and more. You can stack them in a bucket, you can stack them in a bin, in a big grow bag, and start down the bottom and work up and up and up. And you can get yourself a much larger yield of potatoes. Or we can have a determinate variety, which usually grows up to a certain level. So the plant grows up to a certain height. That's the height that it's set, and then all of the tubers that are underneath the soil there will develop into a crop. Now, it may not be as much as a indeterminate variety that can keep on going, much like a tomato vine or something like this, but you're still going to get a much faster turnaround, so the crop might be ready a little bit quicker. You can make these decisions in choosing a variety, because do you want a quick turnaround of potatoes? Do you want to just get something started and get a quick crop? Or are you looking for a big return and a bit of a longer investment? So there's a couple of choices that you can go for there. Can you smell that delicious Morpheus, can you, my bro? You can smell the Morpheus. It's delicious, isn't it? So remember, the variety we chose was the Dutch cream, and to be honest, there's a lot of mixed information out there about the Dutch cream potato and whether or not it is an indeterminate or a determinate variety. And I've come to the conclusion that it's a bit of both. Some people say that, you know, you can just set and forget and it's all good. And some people say you can hill it up and you can get a few more out of it. So we're going to hill up a little bit. Remember, we chose this middle bed here. We chose this middle one because it actually had a little bit more room to grow, and we can hill these up and mound them up a bit. So we're going to, you can see, if we come into this nice tall part of the potato plant here, you come right down, you can see it's quite tall, and we're going to try and mound up around these bases so we can get some more sending off tubers either side. They are still, look, competing against some of this cover crop, which is really interesting, but it's going to outcompete it, no worries at all. One of the main products we're going to be adding in is our trusty Morpheus from Red Soil Organics that you saw Tico was interested in before. This doesn't have it crisscrossed, but it is Morpheus fermented living compost, and this is going to mound up around our plants and give them a nice boost of health all the way through till harvest. The other thing we've got is our #1 blend. I've just got a bit of a glass jar of it here, and you can see all the delicious nutrients in there. So the Shed Organics #1 blend, obviously we're going to be using that because it is readily available here, and it is going to give our plants some wicked nutrition. So some of this we're going to sprinkle in and around. Look, I don't even have to go and be too crazy. Just spread it around, kind of come underneath. Little bits and pieces come around here. Okay, a bit dusty there. Okay, so we just come and mash it down. Look, I didn't really want to get too much on the leaves, but we might water this in afterwards and it will help a lot, I think. Oh, you can smell this, can't you, hey? Oh, you can smell this. Look. Oh, yeah. You like the delicious smelling compost. Look at that, guys. Come on. I mean, how can we get any better than that? Delicious. And it smells amazing. So, this is going to be sprinkled through the bottom as well. We're just going to break it apart and just kind of sprinkle it around. A few handfuls. Remember, get your hands into it. This is the only way to do it. More sprinkles. More sprinkles, sprinkles. This is the best when you get to feed your soil delicious compost like that. I mean, look at it. It's just amazing. Thank you, Red Soil Organics, as always. Not sponsored, but I will talk about good products forever because we need to share and highlight that people are doing wonderful things, creating incredible products for us to use. See how good that's looking in the contrast of the colors? It's a bit messy, but it'll work. Okay, coming around the back here. Get it all around the sides. So this is part of mounding it up as well. Part of mounding it up, we're adding extra soil, organic matter. You can use your own compost, you can use more garden soil. We're also trying to smother some of these cover crops that are still coming through. You don't have to get all of them. Remember, we can have things growing and you can cut stuff off and keep adding it back to the soil. But smothering some of it is going to allow it to then be broken down in as mulch and turned back into amazing soil. So right now that that's done, look at this all over my hands. It's just so nice. Smells really good. So now that that's done, I'm going to add in some mulch. We're going to build up the mulch layer up and around these potatoes, nice and fluffy if we can. Just whatever you've got on hand. I've actually got a little bit of aged straw here. This aged straw. It's also got some mycelial inoculant in it. By that I just mean that it's been left and watered long enough that it started to turn into a bit of a composted, fungal, broken down thing. But we're about to spread this, so I need two hands. I'm going to pop this down. We're going to spread this around the base of these potatoes. It's still a bit wet. There's some snails on here. There's some all sorts, but I'm going to pull it apart and then gently spread it around the base of these potatoes. Remember, we don't want to crush any of them or smother any of the potatoes because they'll end up being completely drowned out, but at least we can get some coverage around them and in and around the stems and covering up them with a little bit of a blanket down here. So more in here. There also might be some more that pop their heads up as we go. And you just got to be careful not to completely smother those, so you can leave some gaps, some bits of light and things like this, but for the most part these are looking really good. I'm not sure if you can see some of the mycelial growth on here. You can see bits of white coming through it. It's very minimal. It's very minimal to start with, but we've definitely got some coming in, which is really good to see. This has just been sitting here for a while, just been breaking down. Just had the rain on it, just had the elements, just breaking it down slowly. I highly recommend just getting a few bales of something and straw mainly and just having them, kind of sitting around and breaking down. Last bit, I think, and we're all kind of tucked in. Now, I'm aware that it doesn't quite look as full and bushy as it did before, but, it's just how it is. So this is what it looks like once we've finished. Mulch is all under here. It's kind of piled up around the stems, and I'm going to come and tend to this every couple of days. Just make sure, look, like this, we don't have any of the actual potato plant being folded underneath there, and there's some grass growing through it, so we can pull that out. But just making sure that these plants bounce back nicely. We're going to give this a good watering in, like I said before. The comfrey, I've kind of just pulled bits and pieces off. We're getting some things attacked here. This is going to make good mulch as well, obviously. Comfrey is great. Just throw that straight back down underneath. That comfrey will come back. There's plenty of new growth in there, which looks amazing. But for the most part, all of these potatoes are going to be nicely tucked in, and they're going to help us get a bumper crop. Just look at it. It's just so amazingly healthy and happy. Loving it. Time to get the hose, and we're going to water it in. Not too much water, because remember, potatoes, they don't like too much water, so we don't want to go too crazy with the actual water. Feeding and things like this, I gave a little bit of fish emulsion and some ferments from the legend organicferments.com. He actually recently gave me a stinging nettle out the front, so big shout out to you, Cam, for the stinging nettle. He sent me it in a nice box, and it's got new growth and everything, so that's now popping off. So I'll put a little thing over the top of that so you can see that. All right, look at this. You want the hose, do you, bud? How badly do you want the hose? How badly do you want the hose? How badly? You want it so bad. Yes, yes you do. But sorry, it's not for you. So nicely watering it in. Look, he's going absolutely bananas. You'll get it in a second. It's your turn in a sec. Okay, nice watering in. Making sure that we get all of the #1 blend off those leaves, basically. We don't want anything sitting on the leaves too much. We're going to check back also tomorrow and the next day to see how amazing these are. So check out social media if you haven't already. That's where I'm uploading a lot of these clips and a lot of the updates and things like that. Job done, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for joining me for this part of the video. But what I wanted to ask from you at the very end here is to let me know, what potato variety are you growing in the comment section below? And also, is it determinate or indeterminate? And have you grown Dutch cream potatoes before? And where do you classify them? Is it determinate or is it indeterminate? I'd love to find out. So let me know in the comment section below if you enjoyed the video. Leave a like. As always, subscribe for more videos. See you on the next one. I can't wait. Take care. And happy gardening. See you soon. Oh man, great looking compost soil, but there's a culprit who's been into it. How did you get out? Oh my gosh, you can't go through there, baby girl. What were you doing? Hey? What were you doing? Punishment should be involved, I think. But I love you too much.